Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. Welcome along to the Championship review show. If you are live in the stream, make yourself known, get involved with your comments. If not, and you're watching on delay, then please do let me know what you think of what I've got to say about all the action from game week number 22. It was another 3-game week, and we are one game away from the halfway mark, nearly reached 23 games, and we'll be there by Christmas. No takers for the 9-point week this week. I think we had 3 last time, didn't we? But there was one for a 0-point week. Hang your heads in shame. Fulham losing all their games. There's masses of goals, masses of incidents, all sorts of good stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. And as usual, we'll start at the very top. And that does not mean Leeds this week. That means West Brom, who managed to get themselves back up to the top of the table. It was Birmingham 2, West Brom 3 at St Andrews. Blues take the lead. Jukovic heading in after Colin beautifully recycles a corner, quite frankly. Diangana, quick equaliser. He taps home after Phillips' cross. Harley Dean gives Birmingham the lead again just after half-time. Big, powerful header. On comes Charlie Austin, however. Scores twice. First one's an absolute beauty. Spins on the edge of the area, and before the keeper can set himself, fires it up into that top corner. And then he gets the winner about 10 minutes from time. Peels off, classic at the far post. Calvo says, Ben, don't mention the Cardiff game. It's number 2 on the running order, obviously. So, West Brom coming from behind twice in this game. Cham says, Harley Dean started abusing Brum fans, according to Twitter. Hopefully nothing in that. West Brom behind twice, as I say. Remember the start of the season, they used to go behind every game, didn't they? And they used to draw a lot. They kind of cut that out, but similar pattern today. But they are looking really, really good. Good character as well. Brilliant form. Only one defeat this whole season. That was at Leeds. 7 wins in 8. Bilic looks like he's playing Robson Kanu and Austin absolutely brilliantly. Whichever one comes in seems to be doing the business. Now it's Austin off the bench, so maybe he will be starting. But he's got 2 strikers, both scoring, fighting for the place in a team that's creating a whole load of chances. West Brom looking very, very good. Remember Ken Zahor, he went up with Cardiff, didn't he? Still in the background there. Birmingham gave this one a good go, didn't they? But lose at home for the 2nd time in a week. They look fairly nice and safe in 15th, but it's very easy to say, oh, this is a transitional season while Pep Clotet get things going. You can slide down the table, but I feel that they're winning too many games for that. Danny says, Millwall are coming. Yes, they are. I don't know how far up the running order they are, but who did they play? Can't remember. They won away again, didn't they? So they will be on soon. But we are up to Leeds, I must just say first. West Brom top, Birmingham in 15th. So game number 2 was a ridiculous game. Leeds 3, Cardiff 3. Leeds so close to the 8-game winning streak, but 3-0 up and they don't quite make it. Oh, beat Derby, okay. Leeds blinding start here. Hernandez brilliant through ball and Costa gives them lead on 6. Then Bamford chest down and finishes Dallas cross. Then 52, so just second half getting going, and they go 3-0 up. Wins and scores the penalty, does Patrick Bamford. Cardiff get one back on 60, and I'm sure this will send a few Leeds hearts fluttering, but a Leeds collapse does sometimes begin with Kiko Casilla flapping a little bit, and he was here. He's played brilliantly this season, we all know, but comes out, loses flight at the corner, and Tomlin, great little lob into the other side. 82, clever free kick, everyone's lined up in the middle, they go down the side, crossed in for Sean Morrison, who heads in. That must be his first game back after his broken wrists. Morrison then gets himself sent off, so he will be out for another few games, evidently. But they get the equaliser, long ball forward, brilliant flick by Tomlin. Neil Harris has got Lee Tomlin playing, hasn't he? Mid-air, back heel flick through to Glatzel, who goes in behind, holds off his man and side foots it home. 3-3. What a game. As I say, Leeds so close to an 8-game winning streak. I've done some research on that, so I will do a video on Championship winning streaks. I think some interesting things there. Obviously, hugely disappointed to surrender a 3-goal lead, but big picture, Leeds are absolutely fine, aren't they? 7-game streak can be a game changer in a season. They've left the teams below them with such little margin for error. 10 points clear of third, and both Leeds and West Brom could be on 50 points at the excuse me, at the halfway mark. West Brom just need a draw, Leeds need a win, and they'll be on 50 points, both on target for 100. Remember, 92 definitely gets you up. 90 will likely get you up. We'll see if the other teams back off a bit, but both looking very, very good, Leeds and West Brom. So they want to just pick it up and go again. Leeds. Cardiff. They looked like they were heading for a second straight defeat under Neil Harris. He'd made a good start. Hadn't either lost at Brentford in midweek. Got out this one spectacularly. They don't have too much margin for error, given the slow start they've made. But you'd think, given how tight it is, if Cardiff can do 2 points per game for about 6 games after this, they'll be up in the top 6. They're 12th, only 5 points off third. Leeds, second. Cardiff, 12th. On we go. Game number 3 is Preston 2, Luton 1. Preston get yet another penalty. I don't know how many that is this season. About 7 or 8, I would have thought. Gallagher misses it, but puts the rebound home after that is safe. Collins, he gets his penalty right for Luton, so it's 1-1 at half-time. Luton miss a couple of big chances in this one as well. They've had a few games like this, tight defeats by 1. And Preston get the winner on 84. Stockley, it's a really crappy goal as well. Ball bobbling about the penalty area and it just lands at Stockley. He's pretty cool actually, just slows everything down, takes a touch, side foots it in for the winner. And you've just got to love the Championship, haven't you? Preston, excuse me, come back from the international break. Absolutely terrible form. Lose 4 games on the trot. Everything looking really grubby, injuries, no goals, and then they win 2 games back-to-back and they're straight back up to third. Obviously some good groundwork done earlier in the season, but you can see how, other than those 2 at the top, things just flitting back and forth. Good character, though, to come back from that. Are they in it for the long haul, Preston? We will find out. Luton go under again, as usual. Very competitive. I'm still holding on to the theory with Luton, because they don't draw many games and they just go for it, that Luton could lose 20 to 25 games and still stay up on the basis they get those 12 to 14 wins, which you think, if you look in the bottom half, Luton have won 6 games. They've won the most games, but it needs to be 7 by halfway and looking at 14 for the season, given that they just go for it and they do lose the tight ones. They don't sit in for the draw. This one, a prime example. I hope that kind of brave approach pays dividends, but sometimes you fall on your sword playing that way. I'm sure we all admire it though from Luton. Preston 3rd, Luton 21st. Stop the clocks now. Luton will be happy with that one. Brentford 1, Fulham 0. Big London derby, and for once Brentford get up to the edge of the playoffs, go against the direct rival and get the win. They normally flake out at this point and drop back down and then have another go and come close again. And Buemo with the goal on 22. Benrahma at it again. He was the goal of the round last time with a stupid assist. He works his way into the box. Great feet as usual. Crosses it over and Buemo volleys that one in. 4 in 4 from Buemo. 5 in 7. He's playing really well. Benrahma looks at it as well. Brentford jump into 4th position. They're winning a lot of games here. They've lost 4 in the last 12, but they've won the other 8. So that is a nice run of 2 points per game over 12 games. So Brentford in really, really good form. And you know what this division's like? You've just got to be able to win games. Doesn't matter if you lose 4 in that run, as long as you're banging those wins out. And that is exactly what Brentford are doing. And Buemo looks great. Benrahma looks great. Watkins looks great. All looking very good. Pinnock as well seems to have kept his place there. I don't know if Jean-Vier's back now, but looking good for Brentford. What could possibly go wrong, hey? Fulham, sensationally having we've basically had 2 3-game weeks in a row, haven't we, with that 7 days in between. Fulham got 9 points in the last 3-game week and 0 points in this 3-game week. That's absurd that one team can go from maximum to 0, but they've done it, and that level of inconsistency is thoroughly confusing, I think. As long as he's in the top 6, Scott Parker, I think he's all right, but he's the one up there under the most pressure. You look at all of those teams up there, he's the one where you think, oh, don't drop down 7th, 8th, 9th, because that, they're going to want more than that there at Fulham. So we'll see if they can bounce back from this run. But yeah, horrible run at the moment for Fulham. Brentford in 4th, Fulham in 6th, just super, super tight up there. As I said, it was a ridiculous week. Forest 0, Sheffield Wednesday 4, and it was 4-0 at half time as well. Jordan Rhodes, we'll speak about him in a minute, gets the first one. He's going to get a hat-trick, a first half hat-trick. Long ball, knocked down, smart finish there. Heads in, a lovely cross by Adam Reach on 13th for his second, and then a brilliant overhead kick by Rhodes on 37 for the hat-trick. Then Fletcher, he's been scoring every week. He puts a real killer because it's right in first half stoppage time. Scrubby one from a corner. 4-0, and this is quite good for Wednesday fans because Jordan Rhodes, we've known about the contract, huge deal that they signed, then backed away from it, want to sell, huge wages, 40 grand a week. Off he goes to Norwich on loan, so they get the liability off the balance sheet for a year. Back he comes, they can't shift him, they can't loan him, no one wants to pay the wages like Norwich did, or split the deal, etc., etc. So he comes back in from the cold, sub against Brentford, starts against Derby, and hits the hat-trick. We always know Gary Monk has a high-scoring striker. I thought it was going to be Fletcher, who's been banging them in, but I wonder if they can get a tune out of Jordan Rhodes, and even if it is to ultimately sell him. Look, if you've got an asset sat there and you're paying a fortune for, you may as well use him, and maybe Fletcher and Rhodes up front could be the ticket. 3 wins in 4 for Wednesday. They go 5th. Is it a playoff push, or are we just waiting for the FFP ruling, not wanting to pee on your chips, Wednesday fans? But certainly looking good on the pitch, let's just say. Forest have gone right off the boil here. Out of the top 6 again, 2 points in the last 4, 1 win in 6. The nature of that first half looked worrying because they've been so solid, so good defensively, so stable, and to go under 4-0 at half time, not good at all. We'll see how they follow this one up. Wednesday 5th, Forest with the game in hand, but out of the playoffs in 8th spot. Game number 6, we're halfway there. Bristol City 0, Blackburn 2. Ridiculous from Blackburn still. Bradley Johnson, it's classic away one, this one. Score after 2 minutes from a set play, roll along the edge of the box. Johnson smashes it in. And then they wait, and 77th minute, they pick them off, get the second goal, snatch it off the centre half. Good press. Armstrong through with his pace, gets the goal, makes no mistake. Bristol City, what are they doing? Started off the week with that brilliant win over Fulham, put themselves in that top 4 zone, and then 2 straight home defeats, losing to Millwall in midweek, Blackburn now to round off the 3-game week. They won the hardest game and then lost the 2 at home. I'm allowed to bring back the streaky lead thing, and we've taken that away from him because they've been so consistent this season. But strange week for Bristol City when you think things are starting to move forward for them nicely. Blackburn is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I remember saying a while ago, on paper, their team looks like they kind of got round pegs in round holes. They've got, the right players for the system they're playing. And I found it really worrying because I thought, well, they've got the right players and it's just not clicking, and, the players aren't good enough. But evidently, it was just waiting for things to gel, and they're on an absolutely brilliant run. I did not foresee them doing this. 6 wins in the last 8, 4-game winning streak in the middle of that, 19 points in 8 games. 2 home games coming up as well, and they're in that crowd. Anyone puts a few wins together over Christmas in that, basically in the top half, people will take points off each other, could well be in the playoffs in the new year. Remember, they were there or thereabout last season and came down with the Christmas decorations, so hopefully not for them this season. Bristol City 7th, Blackburn 9th. Game number 7, Swansea 3, Boro 1. Swansea get a much needed win here. Ayew with the opener. Great equaliser by Tavernier from the edge of the box slams that one in. Red card for Brown, then AU gets a second. Surridge, who's playing well, he's worked his way well into that first 11, hasn't he, Surridge? He gets the third, and then Paddy McNair gets sent off as well. Billy's, he likes the Brett the Hitman Hart book. If I do that, you can see it there. It's signed Billy as well. I did meet the great man as well. Swansea get a much needed win after plummeting right from the automatic picture all the way down into the mid-table. First win in 6, back-to-back wins also followed. They had these back-to-back wins 6 games ago, and there was a lean spell before that, so they've been on a rough old run, let's just say. Sorry, I'm falling over my stats there. Can they turn the trend around and push for the playoffs, or are they regressing into mid-table? Remember, second year of parachute payments? Things start to get tricky next year as well for Swansea, so they probably want to be pushing up a little bit higher than 10th, for they are. Boro, it's a disappointing loss, and what's up with their discipline? 4 red cards in 8 games for Boro, and McNair's an important player. They'll miss him. I don't know whether they'll appeal that one, but you can get an extra game if that's frivolous, can't you? They had that surge, hadn't they? 7 points in 4 games. So things were looking better, but they cannot replicate that run of 10 games without a win. They'd be right back down in the bottom 3 with that sort of thing. And the teams that get relegated do just go week after week after week without getting wins. I saw it firsthand last season following Ipswich. Swansea 10th, Boro 20th. Here we go, quite the game here. Barnsley 5, QPR 3. Right, see if you can keep up with this. So Chaplin sweeps home on 7. Amos follows in for 1-1 after Hugel hits the post. Great goal by Chaplin, lashes it in after a corner, rifles it in left-footed for 2-1. Then Chaplin gets his hat-trick after half-time. He's got 6 in 6 under new manager Gerhard Struber. Amos scores another one. He's backing up the attack, fires in from the edge of the area. So it's 3-2 if you're following along. Then Woodrow wins a penalty, scores that for his 9th of the season. And then Diaby, who's everyone loves a big hulking defender, don't they? He's a bit of a crowd favourite, I think, up there in Barnsley. Clever free kick, the same one that Cardiff played at Leeds, but they cross it on the floor and Diaby slams that one home. That's 5-2. And then Chair tucks in, yeah, I didn't even plan that, from a nice assist by Samuel. So 5-3 at Barnsley. And there I was saying QPR had turned over a new leaf defensively. Remember those 2-0 wins? 2 clean sheets, but 5 goals against bottom side Barnsley. They just got to erase this one, really, because they'd had a good week. It could have been a 9-point week, couldn't it? They've won the other 2 games, 2 clean sheets. So look, 6 points for the week is fine, but still that ability to just collapse and fall to bits defensively is really holding QPR back. 42 goals conceded in 22 games. Only Luton and Barnsley worse than that. Barnsley, is there something happening there now? They were adrift 3 or 4 games ago, but something is going on there. He got the first win, Struber, didn't he? They hadn't won since the opening day. And since then, it's 7 points in 4 games. They were adrift, and now they are back in it now. And in those 6 games, they've scored 13 goals as well. Not mentioning the 5 today, or in this game week rather. They lost 3-2 twice as well. So he's definitely getting an attacking tune out of him. I don't know whether they're going to go similar attack to Luton and just go for it and not go down with a whimper if they're going to go down. But it looks like possibly the upside's bigger than that, especially with Chaplin, Woodrow, Diaby seems to be playing well. They've all got on the score sheet. Mowat. Looking like something's clicking into place there if they can keep that up. Only 4 points gap now to Luton in 21st for Barnsley. QPR 13th, Barnsley 24th. Elliot says not in the car picking up. Elliot, near where I work, there's a Tesco. I had to get to the works too. It was the only well-lit place, so I did it. Billy says Barnsley likely to end up punching above their weight this season, but possibly, yeah. If they can keep up this goal scoring, because teams down the bottom, well, they can't defend, so you may as well go for it. And hey, 5-3 is 3 points, the same as 1-0 is 3 points, isn't it? On Friday night, it was Charlton 2, Hull 2. Pratley heads in the opener. Bowen obviously scores because there's a football match involving Hull. Sarr with the instant reply, and then an own goal. My God, Dylan Phillips, 96th minute. Not good. Charlton really needed that win. They've been dropping like a stone as well. Hull go into 14th with the kind of most middling form you can get. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats from the last 3. A 3-game week, of course, that means another 3 goals for Jared Bowen coming along very nicely. That transfer fee that, we've been expecting for a long while, haven't we? Charlton, second post 90th minute goal in 2 home games. Huddersfield nicked it on 92, didn't they? That cost them a point in that one. And this one's cost them 2 points, hasn't it? 96th minute. Bottom of the form table, dropping very fast. 10 points in 16 games is horrible form since going back to September. And I just keep adding one on to that stat every time. They really need to get the win. Right, the Millwall fans are asking for this. Is game number 10. Is Derby 0, Millwall 1. Another good win for Millwall in great form. And this is a great goal as well. As I think it's Cooper just boots it forward, and Bradshaw running in against the 2 centre halves, and he really mugs his man off. He heads it to the side. It's kind of like Michael Owen-esque. I'm not saying Tom Bradshaw's as good as Michael Owen in his prime, but just sprinting in, heads past, and then lashes it home. Owen would have probably dribbled through with his ridiculous pace, wouldn't he? But great goal by Bradshaw. Really enjoyed that one. And a superb 3-game week from Millwall and Gary Rowett. 7 points bagged, which is the most important thing. But 4 of them off top 6 sides, Bristol City and Forest. 2 straight away wins too. And the record under Gary Rowett is really good. 9 played, 5 won, 3 drawn and 1 lost. So 18 points off 9 games is 2 points per game. That's a big sample size to be making that much 2 points per game. Danny says Millwall will fold. We always do unless we have a great transfer window. I hope you're wrong, because I like Millwall, and there is the I say every time, elephant in the room. Neil Harris with parachute money, maybe coming for Jed Wallace or Jake Cooper, or don't know. Who will he go for? Could even try and take Białkowski off. No, he's got good goalkeepers at Cardiff. Millwall 11th, Derby in 16th. Derby, they had been doing the win at home, lose away. Then they draw 2 home games to scupper that. Now, first home defeat since August. Lose at home, lose away is only going to end one way. 5 straight defeats away from home, 3 points from 9. Really need to sort that out, because they can't rely on their home form. Elliot says, please do a video on January transfers. Yeah, we'll get that done right through January. We'll be all over that, all good fun. What did I say the league positions were? Millwall 11th, Derby 16th. And remember, 11th this season is pretty much 3 points away from 4th normally. I haven't checked the numbers, but you take my point. Stoke 0, Reading 0. No attempts on goal. Got a lot of time for that. Reading stay out of the bottom 6. No attempts on target. Of course, there was attempts on goal. But Reading out of the bottom 6, as I said. But this slowdown will see them drop back into it. 1 win in 6, 2 points from the last 3. Stoke, this probably might do them some good, actually, because they've been so streaky with those back-to-back wins, then 3 defeats, win a couple. It do them good to actually be able to see out a game and hold on and, not go one way or the other. So maybe something in that, Stoke trying to build consistency to add to some of the wins. Robin says Stoke are seriously struggling to get going. Well, we're halfway now, so that is the definition of seriously struggling. Totally agree. Reading 18th, Stoke 22nd, still in the bottom 3 with their big squad, big wages and year 2 parachute money. Last one is Wigan 1, Huddersfield 1. We had some comedy goals up that end this week. We had the back pass blunder. This time it's the Huddersfield keeper Grabari kicks it straight to Windass, who that's wrapped up in nice Amazon gift wrapping at this time of the year for 1-0 for Wigan. Grant, he's great, isn't he? He's having a really good season in a not great Huddersfield performing team. In off the left, smashes it in the top corner. Brilliant goal by Carlin Grant. Huddersfield probably would have taken 4 points from Charlton away and Wigan away in whatever order. It is a direct rival though, so a win's a win in that. But my rationale on these things, it's trot those points out. Cham says Grant and Bowen are nailed on Premier transfers. Interesting to see how that one pans out, whether either of them last until summer or whether they do go in January. Speaking of Wigan's home form, they held West Brom, so they've stopped their losing streak there, but pretty unhelpful this draw really, and the home wins are drying up. 4 points in the last 10 now. I'm stating the obvious. Wigan need a win, don't they? Bowen to Norwich, God, that'd be dangerous, and I'm an Ipswich fan saying that. Huddersfield 19th, Wigan 23rd. Right, I've added these ones in. Get your ideas in. Goal of the round, a few really, really brilliant ones. Sorry, Leeds fans, but just for the narrative, and it was coming back from 3-0 down, and it had a filthy mid-air volley backheel assist. I've got to go for Glatzel's goal just for narrative and timing and the presentation and the assist. Superb, but that could have been any one of about 10 goals. Elliot says, and Buemo, yeah, no, we had Ben Rama assisting for that one last time, didn't we? So goal of the round, I'll go for Glatzel for Cardiff. Game of the round, so many good ones. Yeah, overhead kick, Robin says, for Wednesday. So really, really good ones. Game of the round, it's got to be Leeds or Barnsley, hasn't it? I've gone for the Cardiff goal. So let's go for Barnsley QPR as the game of the round. 5-3. You don't see many of them. Performance of the round, I think, has got to go to Sheffield Wednesday, hasn't it? If you're 4-0 up away from home, especially against a good defensive team, that's happy days, isn't it? I think I remember Ipswich being 4-0 up once at Swindon at half-time, but I think that's probably the only time I've ever seen that in my many, many games of football I have watched. Right, let's go through these final little bits. Top goal scorers, so Grant and Fletcher both move up to 12, Watkins 13, Bowen moves on to 15, one away from Mitrovic. Bowen chasing Mitrovic is a bit like Brentford chasing the playoffs. Every time he gets within one, then Mitrovic goes and scores 2 in a game or something, doesn't he? So it's a good chase between those two at the moment, but some great work from Watkins, Grant and Fletcher as well. Cham says Brentford were 5 up against Luton at half-time. Nasty. Remember Man City have one earlier in the season, 5-0 up against 20 minutes. Robin says, Wickham looking good, Ben. Could be a new championship ground next year. Don't talk to me about Wickham. They're doing a number on everybody in League One. 7 points clear of my team, Ipswich, having a brilliant season, Wickham. Key passers, they never change, do they? Hernandez, Bannon, Mowat, Brown, Swift. There you go. That metric tells you who the key players are. Was it Omar Bogle, not Tomlin? Interesting. Sorry, I've got that wrong. Brilliant touch by I'd expect that from Tomlin, not from Bogle. Sorry about that if I've got that wrong. The defences, well, Leeds, Fort Knox defence had 3 goals go against it in one half, amazingly, but they're still way, way out in front. West Brom 23 conceded, Forest 21, Wednesday 20, Brentford 17, Leeds 13. 442 has Wickham for relegation. Yeah, there was a point this season I had Charlton for relegation. They were about 3rd at one point, so there we go. Let me know if you've got any questions in the feed. Sorry for keeping everybody waiting, and I did miss a preview show in midweek back last week. It's been very, very busy time doing lots of extra work, extra gigs and whatnot to pay my way through Christmas. So trying to keep up, but I finished work on Thursday, so we should get loads of videos going through the Christmas period. We will see where we can get all that going. Let me know if there's any questions in the feed. I'll quickly plug my Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Subscribe, ring the bell here for notifications, and then every time we go live, if you want to join in with the videos here and get in the chat, you'll get a little notification on your phone. Thank you, Robin, for the kind words. You can support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. I'd love to do this full time, bit of a pipe dream at the moment, so trying to whilst I'm raising ad revenue on YouTube, trying to get some more income streams to try and make that pipe dream come true. Thank you, Billy, as well. Thank you, everyone who stayed right the way through. We're coming up half hour, so I will bid you all farewell and probably go on Amazon. Thank you, Pineapple Milo. Nice name, Pineapple. Interesting. I'll bid you all farewell, and the plan is I'll be back Thursday, possibly. Yeah, Thursday. For the preview show for next week, and then we're into the mad, ridiculous Christmas period. Thank you so much. It would be good to see you bouncing off a friend to get bigger. I don't know what that means. Bouncing off a friend. There we go. What game this weekend, Robert? Do you know, I haven't got anything booked. I might go to Portsmouth, Ipswich, if I don't do a Championship one. We will see. I just want to get towards the end of the... I was in Championship. Oh, okay. I see. We'll see. We'll see how we can grow things. Hopefully, I'll be able to develop myself a little bit more time in the schedule to be able to do that. Right, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for the comments. If you're not watching in real time, please do comment below. Even if I don't reply, I definitely read all of them, I promise. Unless they've got swear words in, because they get blocked by the spam filter. So don't swear at me. Don't swear at anyone. Be nice this Christmas. Thanks everybody. Over and out.